Happy for Fred Hoiberg. I think he's, it wasn't that many years ago that everybody was on his butt. He did a hell of a job. Nebraska did a hell of a job. The crowd was, if it was the best game or biggest game in 36 years, they responded. I was really disappointed in maybe we didn't look like we had the toughness, and that's one thing that I spent a lot of time talking about football yesterday, and I've been a believer my whole life, and I'll continue to believe this way. Toughest team won, and we didn't make big plays down the stretch. I missed dunks, didn't get a big rebound when we were 3 up, dribbled it off our leg a couple times. We had 19 turnovers and they only had 7 steals. So that means that 12 times we just turned the ball over for no reason. Stepped out of bounds twice, dribbled it out of bounds. You can't win against good teams. This is a very good team. If I found some silver lining in an absolutely dark cloud, we weren't playing very good most of the game, in my humble opinion. And we still were in there. Jeremy said at halftime it's tied, and then when we got down 9, just as quick as we got down, we got right back in to tie it, and we just didn't make the plays. And Mast hit that big 3, and then the rebound he got when we had position was a big play when we were 3 up. But all in all, they're a good team. Love the environment. Big fan of Fred and his program, and somehow we're going to grow from this, starting when we get on the plane. Questions?
I wonder about Jeremy in that stretch from technical to maybe about 2 minutes left. He really took that game over. And then what happened in those final?
Yeah, I think he wore out. It was a shame with Divine out. Divine's been playing good, and we just didn't have the faith in some of the other guys, and so that hurt us a little bit. Although those plays, they were tough plays. One he just dribbled right off his foot, and I know it wasn't on purpose. So I was actually very pleased with most of Jeremy's game. I still think he can be better defensively, but he did some things, and not for those 2 turnovers, it would have been a hell of a night for him. So, we got something out of Kohler at times. Tang was really bad, and then he was good in that one stretch. But we're not guarding with the same, and those juniors and seniors got to come through. That's why they're here. And the coach. Those are the 4 or 5 guys with the most experience. So we all got to do a better job, and we will.
Had 2 games where I think it's Duke and this one where Jackson's had like 4 threes in the first half, and you can tell they're very attentive in the second half. Are there things you can do after he gets off of these starts to try to, feature him more or find ways to keep that going?
Well, as you said, they did a good job of switching. That was the problem. They switched, and I didn't think we took advantage of that enough. And so maybe, as I look at the film, but, he's a pro coach. He does a good job too, and I thought we did a good job on Mass other than those couple right in a row. And then we gave him that big one at the end. I just think some of our guys ran out of gas, I thought Jackson was tired, and I thought Jeremy was a little tired, and we just didn't, usually our depth is a strength. When Coop was struggling early, we had to play Jackson more, and that hurt us a little bit.
When you think about the winning time sorts of plays down the stretch there in this game, when your team can't, find the answer there, did that surprise you at all, the way they responded in those moments?
I'm sorry. Tell me the question again.
In sort of the late game stages down the stretch, the way your team responded in some of those moments where you needed a big play.
No, it doesn't surprise me. We were tired. We were missing a guy, and in all honesty, they're a good team, and it was an incredible environment. Do I think Jeremy would do that again the rest of the year? Turn it over? We didn't get a shot. No, I don't think he will. But I don't have a problem. Again, I measure Jeremy in a lot of ways that is different than most people, and most of my ways are the huddles and the half times. And he's maturing and getting better each and every day. But they created some problems with their switching for us, and we needed one more shooter. And as you know, Divine's been shooting well. It's not an excuse, just a fact of life. And those other guys just struggled a little bit. So it is what it is.
Tank provided that in a little bit of a
Yeah, he
sense,
did.
too.
He did, but he was 4 for 15. He did. He came back. He missed some wide open ones, and he's getting better. I was disappointed in our defense on some slips and that we didn't pick up, that we'd gone over and over and over and over. So we got to do a better job as coaches, making sure that point. We knew that last play when he popped. We talked about it in the huddle, and I just think some of my bigs, it's one of the negatives. I need those freshmen to come along. Now I think Cam is getting better. He should be in there guarding guys in that situation. Hopefully I think he's over his injury as far as he's been practicing better. So hopefully we'll get him more time.
Slips and the backdoors they were getting early, how much did that make you free up? Because it seemed like there were a couple points where Cooper was
Yeah, we
backwards
weren't.
to you.
Yeah, Coop, we weren't communicating on that, and that was the big thing. We had two guys going to the ball, and then he popped on Coop. That's exactly right. Which kind of disappoints me that you can see it. No insult intended, but that's our job, and we didn't get it done. So that was disappointing on why we responded and reacted like that. But you just got to keep grinding it. And listen, we were not favored to win here. Not that I care about the gambling, but I mean, it was the environment was the best I've seen here, and it's always good here, but it was one of the best I've seen in a lot of years anywhere in the Big Ten.
Help you guys in March.
The only way things help you is if you respond, and I'm a little concerned that we made some mistakes that we shouldn't make, and so we've got to get a couple guys got to just get a little more grinding, and we'll get that. And then we got caught playing more freshmen because of Divine, and we got hurt on those slips a little bit. In fairness to Jordan, he's been playing good, but he got hurt on that a little bit because he hasn't been in this situation before, and we'll have to do a better job coaching him because he can really help us.
I know each team is a new season. They play differently. Big improvement from last year for Nebraska. Last year you guys blew them out. This year they beat you at home. What's the biggest improvement you've seen in Nebraska from last year to this year?
Well, how many things you want me to name? Everything's better. Everything's better. I mean, it starts with Sanford and Mast. I mean, that's a 1 and 1 AA, and those two guys are really good. They weren't here last year. Remember, Mast didn't play. Lawrence, I told him I appreciate him coming back to the Big Ten. Being here a couple of years, then going out east and coming back. Maybe he realized the grass is now is greener. He's a big addition to him. I'm trying to think who else hurt us, but those three. And then I think the Frager kid is going to be a hell of a player. I think that's a hell of a freshman, and he's going to be a hell of a player. He seems to be getting better and better and better. And we got him a little bit of foul trouble. The Burke kid didn't play as well tonight, but Frager stepped up and really did a hell of a job. So, I mean, who do they have back? My favorite player is the only one they had back, and that's Sam. And I say Sam because I watched him get 10 rebounds the other night. It's a joke. There's not a kid in Big Ten or NCAA basketball that plays harder than that kid and gets more out of his I had a kid named Timbo Grackus, but he only played 10 minutes a game. And this kid's playing 28 minutes. He guards people. He motivates people. It's got to be hard because coaches' sons usually take a beating, you know. Anybody in Nebraska bitches about him, I would like to meet that guy because that kid plays so damn hard, so smart, just gets his hands on everything. You know, I had his brother, but I love Sam, and so he's better. The other ones weren't here, but he's better too. So your fans are better. They were good last year, really good. They're better. So if you want to ask me that question again, say, what the hell is even close to what you had last year compared to this year? I tell you nothing. They're just a better team all the way around. Fans are better. Everybody's better. And if I had to lose to somebody, losing to him is a good thing. Fans were great. It's just the way it was.
Anything else, guys?
After the game, obviously Carson had a chance there to tie it. Did you talk to him about that, or you just kind of let him sit and wait?
Let me show my maturity. I'm going to pause for a minute, think about how I want to say it. No game is lost by one player. You know, Jeremy took the blame in the locker room. And the free throws, the game should have been over before the free throws if we did our job. So, even at the end, I told him, Cohen, we had the two guys that wanted to go in for a rebound because he couldn't cross the line, and he did. So I didn't get my message across very well there, and so that falls on me. The other things, I'll just reserve it to, I didn't think it was, a couple of guys didn't have some of their better games. And when it's effort related, toughness related, coming up with a big rebound, those things bother me. That shouldn't happen in this program. So they did, so I got to do a better job, and I promise you I will. But when I leave here, we played one of the better teams in the Big Ten. Did we learn something? I think we did. Our stretch gets tougher now. We'll get home at 2, 3 in the morning, and then we play Monday night. Ironically, usually when you travel West Coast, well, USC's been here forever because they didn't have school. They came early. They're going to be in bed by the time we even take off. So they got a little advantage on us there, even though they came from the West Coast. Anything else?
Yeah, you talked about the advantage taken by the team on the road with the exhibition at UConn and obviously went at Penn State, but I wonder when you see a court storm and there's the effect that your team had to sort of walk through in this game.
Their AD was there, I think, right? Yeah. And he was great. And I told my AD, I told my commissioner, I understand we got to be careful and all that. I absolutely loved it. Absolutely loved it. If there's that much passion that they storm the court and that and what, I missed the question?
No,
Was I worried about anybody?
What I'm asking
I was hoping I got stomped on, to be very honest with you.
No, the motivation factor of your players seeing that and being involved in that. I mean, is there a better source of motivation?
Yeah, that doesn't happen much at our place, and because, and it shouldn't, but it should happen here. This is kind of a new experience. That's the beauty of what you do as you build a program. And I wouldn't want those people to react they were lining up back there. I was thinking to myself, go for it. I thought it was great. And I think it's somehow, it's probably a backhanded compliment to us. If we were a nobody, they wouldn't have stormed the court. So our guys got to realize that they play in a program that you're somebody. You better answer the meat and potatoes of what a somebody means. And a somebody means the toughness and winning time, making winning plays. We got to do a better job of that. Coaches, the players. Thanks, guys.